Stampers, it's Kim Vogel with the Basement Bunch Stampers, and I'm here to share another really cute bundle with you. This bundle is called the Hippo Happiness, and I love the stamp set and coordinating dies that come with this one. So this stamp set, you get all these awesome little, you get the hippo stamp, the little sheep, you can make this a horse or a unicorn by incorporating the horn on it. And I love that it has coordinating dies that come with it for you to be able to cut out all those shapes. So I'm going to share with you the card that I made using this awesome bundle, and I incorporated some of the sheep on there, and I'm going to also show you how easy it is to do some of the stamping for the two-step stamping that you have to do with these cute little animals. So I started my card today with a piece of the gray granite cardstock. Now this is cut 5.5 by 8.5. I should probably also mention the price of this bundle. So you get that awesome stamp set. Let me bring in the stamp set so you can see it again here a little bit up closer. You get this awesome stamp set and the coordinating dies for $48.50. And the dies, you get a lot of them. So you get all the dies to cut out the little animals and lots of layering shapes. And I love layering shapes. So you really good value here for your $48.50. Now there's a link in the description of my video to be able to purchase this bundle today from my online store. And I appreciate all of you that do order from me. I really enjoy showcasing this awesome product, so I appreciate you, your orders, and keeping me stamping as well. So this is my card base. Again, it's the gray granite, and it's cut 5.25 by 4. And I'm just going to fold it in half, and it becomes the base of our card for today. And then I have a piece of the gorgeous grape. This is cut 5.25 by 4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White that I cut 5 by 3 3/4. Now this Whisper White I ran through the Stamp and Emboss die cutting machine using the Old World embossing folder, and that's also a new embossing folder. I love it. I just love the look of it, and it's actually within another product suite, but I chose to incorporate it in on this one. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these together using some of our Stampin' Seal Plus. Now, if you're not familiar with our new adhesive, Stampin' Up came out with Stampin' Seal. Whoop, that actually came up with my card a little bit. And I said it does happen when you emboss things, but this is the Stampin' Seal Plus, and I find it easier sometimes to actually lay the adhesive onto the cardstock instead of layering it onto a piece that's embossed. But this is the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is similar to our Fast Fuse. Whoops, sorry, I'm a little too high there for you guys. Which is similar to our Fast Fuse bond. So I really like that. I loved the Fast Fuse. I then have a piece of gray granite cardstock. This is cut 2.25 by 4. And then the piece of Designer Series paper is cut 2 by 4. And it's going to layer in there very nicely together. So let me go ahead and layer these, again using this adhesive. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of put it right in here in between. I'm going to have a little bit of an overage on both of those. And then I'm going to layer this right onto my card, and it's going to fit just like that. And then from there, I adhered some ribbon around it. And you're going to love this ribbon. If you haven't seen this ribbon yet, it is like a 3 different colors of our purples together. So it is let me bring it in here and show you. It is the Purple Posy with the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this around the edge of the card. So I'm going to grab my scissors and go ahead and bring in my glue dots. And I wrap it around the card using glue dots. So I'm just putting a glue dot on each end. Now, if you're not following me on Facebook yet, I encourage you to search for Kim Vogel's Basement Bunch Stampers. I do Facebook Lives every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I also have lots of other inspiration cards that I post there, and some inspirational quotes and all kinds of fun things that I post on a regular basis there. So make sure you search for me. There's also descriptions and links in the description of the video to be able to find me on Facebook and follow me on all my other social media platforms, including Instagram and Pinterest. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie that little piece of ribbon on there, and then I'm going to cut this at an angle on both sides. And then in advance, I cut out a couple of those little shapes that are in those dies, and I love those shapes. They layer together very nicely, and I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these together. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm just going to layer these in, and then I adhered this onto my card using some dimensionals. So let me bring those in. And you could use 1 or 2. I think I actually put 4 on this, so 1 on all of the 4 little areas. And then you're just going to peel off those backings like that. And then those backings will appear everywhere for you to be able to find for the rest of the time that you're working on projects. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer that on there. And then we are going to stamp these cute little sheep right here. And I'm going to show you how easy that is to stamp together. Now, if you're not a very good stamper, or if you think you're not a very good stamper, you could also use our Stamparatus for this. But I've gotten to be where I think I'm okay doing it just by lining it up on my own. And so I'm going to show you how easy it is for those to go together. I'm going to grab a piece of Whisper White scrap and we're going to stamp those right now. So here's my scrap. You can see that I've already got a couple done so that I can use those on my card, but I want to show you how easy they are to stamp as well. So for my sheep, I use the basic gray ink and I also use the gray granite ink. And I'm going to start with the gray granite and I'm going to stamp my solid image in the lightest color. So I'm going to stamp the whole body of the sheep using the gray granite. And I'm going to do that twice because I have 2 little sheep on there. And if it doesn't stamp the greatest, you might want to put a little foam mat or something underneath your stamping area. My ink pads are pretty juicy, so these are working pretty good. And then I have the one that just has not the whole image, and I'm going to be using the basic gray, so it's going to be a little bit darker. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp directly on top of that. And you can see that you just kind of line it up and you just stamp. Now, if you're not the best at lining things up, you could easily use your Stamparatus. I've been stamping for a while, so I feel sometimes I'm quicker just by lining things up without using my Stamparatus. But if you have any questions on how to use the Stamparatus, I've done a video in the past showcasing it, so I encourage you to give it a try. It's a really great device that helps stamp doing exactly what I've just done. I then went ahead and added some eyes to them. I'm going to bring them in here so you can kind of see how cute they are. Isn't that cute? So if you like to stamp, this is a great stamp set for that. In advance, though, I did stamp a couple of them, and then I ran them through the Stampin' Emboss die cutting machine with one of the dies that coordinate with it. So I have those already done, and so I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on that and add it to our card. So let me bring it back in my dimensionals, and for this I just added one right to the center, and we're just going to add these onto the card. And I kind of staggered them a little bit. And what I like about this stamp set is that it's got an image, or I mean a sentiment that goes with each of the images. So for instance, on this one, since I used the sheep, it's got one that says thank you so much. And then if you wanted to use the hippo, it's got the hip hip hooray, or hip hippo hooray. And it's got one here for unicorn and the butterfly. And I like that it's got the greetings that kind of coordinate with it. It's so awesome. So I've cut out a piece of 3/4 inch white scrap, and I'm going to be stamping my sentiment on there. I'm going to do the thank you so much. So let me get that on a block here. And I stamped that in the lighter gray, but you could also use the darker gray. And for this sample, I'm going to actually use the gray that I left open, which is the darker gray. And I'm just going to go into the ink, and I'm just going to stamp directly onto this. And then from there, all I did is cut this at a little bit of an angle, and I'm going to adhere that onto my card near the top, again using a dimensional. So let me find the bigger ones here. I have both sizes here. And I'm just going to peel off those backings. And then this whole matte piece is going to go onto my card base. So if you remember, I started off with that piece of gray granite that I folded in half. And then this is going to get adhered directly onto that. Again, I'm using the new Fast Fuse replacement called Stampin' Seal Plus, and I love it. It's working really good. It takes a little bit of a learning curve, I think, whenever you try a new adhesive. But for the most part, I love it. And the strength of it is very comparable to our old Fast Fuse that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. So the neat thing with this adhesive is that when you purchase it as a whole unit, but then you pull this apart and you can just replace the refills. And the refills are a lot cheaper once you already have the holder for it. So I hope you enjoyed my project that I shared with you today using the new Hippo Happiness Bundle. Again, you can purchase this bundle directly from my website. The link is in the description of this video. It's $48.50 and it includes this awesome stamp set and this great collection of dies that you can use on so much more than just the hippos that and the stamps that come with this bundle. Thank you all so very much for stopping today. I hope you enjoyed this card and I look forward to seeing what you create with it. Have a great day.